Assalamu alaikum, my name is Kania Tallat and today I will discuss on the topic hydroboration oxidation. As the name shows, hydroboration is the addition of hydrogen and boron atom, and collectively we call it addition of boron, and oxidation is the addition of oxygen. So hydroboration oxidation is a way of converting the alkenes into alcohol and alkynes into aldehyde and ketones. So first we see the hydroboration oxidation of alkenes, and then we will proceed towards the hydroboration oxidation of alkynes. So hydroboration oxidation of alkene is again categorized into symmetrical alkenes and unsymmetrical alkene. Symmetrical alkene, you may be familiar with the term symmetrical alkene. A symmetrical alkene are those alkene, as you can see in this case, that if we see here double bond, on either side of the double bond same groups are present, like one carbon, one hydrogen and alkyl, one hydrogen, one carbon and alkyl. On the either side of the double bond same groups are present, so we will call it symmetrical alkene. However, in this case you can see that on the either side of the double bond different groups are present. Here carbon and hydrogen, here two carbon and hydrogen, you can say that methyl, ethyl, etc. But different groups, these two are different groups on the either side of the double bond, so this is unsymmetrical alkenes. So hydroboration reaction is that in the first step we add boron, as the I said hydroboration is the addition of boron, and also add the solvent THF, and in the second step we add, for the oxidation reaction, aqueous solution of hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide, and we get the desired product. That I said that in the case of alkene the product will be alcohol, and same for same as unsymmetrical alkenes, we add in the first step boron and the solvent tetrahydrofuran, and in the second step for the oxidation we will add the aqueous solution of hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide, and we will get the desired product, that will be alcohol. And these are the questions that would be covered in this whole topic. So first question arises here, that why the solvent is used. As I said that hydroboration is the addition of boron, so boron is used, and oxidation is the addition of oxygen. For the oxidation we will add these reagents, so these are used. Then why THF is used here? Okay, the answer of this question is that boron is a highly toxic gas. It can react with the moisture and cause explosion. So we use THF as a solvent because it forms a loose complex. This is THF, this is boron. It forms the loose complex with the boron so that it will not react with the air and cause explosion. That's why we use the THF solvent here. And the second question is, why specifically THF is used as a solvent? Why not other solvents are used? So the answer is that THF is a polar aprotic solvents, and aprotic solvents are those which do not donate proton. So THF do not donate proton, and it will not interfere in the reaction between the alkene and boron. As I said, THF formed loose complex with boron, so it will break easily, and the boron react with alkene, and THF don't interfere between the reaction of the alkene and boron. That's why we use THF, as it is the best choice here. So in the case of symmetrical alkene, there is a no choice that the boron or alcohol like OH group add on that carbon or that carbon, because both carbons are same, so the alcohol or will add either to this carbon or this carbon. Now if we see the mechanism of the hydroboration, here the boron act as electrophile, boron atom act as electrophile, and this alkene act as a nucleophile. And we know that nucleophile is the electron rich species, and electrophile is the electron deficient species. And this is not necessary for a species to have the positive charge to be an electrophile, and this is not necessary for a species to have the negative charge compulsory to be a nucleophile. It means that the neutral species can act as electrophile and neutral species can also act as nucleophile. It depends. And here boron act as electrophile because boron has one empty orbital. If we see the draw the electronic configuration of the boron, boron has the atomic number 5. Two to 4 and 1 5. This is the ground state. And if we draw the excited state configuration for boron, one electron from the s orbital jump to the 2p. Here you can see that this p orbital is empty. It means that the boron acts as electrophile and accept this pair of electrons in this empty p orbital. And alkene, we are familiar, alkenes act as a nucleophile because here the pi bond is present and it is not much more close to the nucleus, loosely bound, and it can, this pi electron can easily attack on the electrophile. That's why alkenes act as a nucleophile because of their pi electrons. And first, this alkene acts as a nucleophile and attack on electrophile, that is boron atom. Simultaneously, here you can see that when this pi bond break, as the valency of the boron is 3, boron form one bond with that carbon, and 3 bonds of the boron are already formed, so this bond breaks and this hydrogen atom simultaneously attack as a nucleophile on that carbon. Okay, again this boron act as electrophile and this alkene act as a nucleophile because of its pi electrons. This is electron rich. So pi bond attack on the boron atom. Simultaneously this bond break and this hydrogen atom act as a nucleophile and attack on that carbon. This pi bond breaks, this hydrogen atom will be added to that carbon and boron added to that carbon. One thing remember here, that the boron group is always attached to that carbon which is less substituted. Or the question arises here, why in case of unsymmetrical alkene boron is added to less substituted carbon? Because in case of symmetrical alkenes, boron is added to either carbon, there is no this carbon and this carbon is same, so boron is added to in either carbon. But in case of unsymmetrical alkene, boron group is added to that carbon which is less substituted. And the question arises, why? So the answer of this question is that there are two reasons. First reason is that less substituted carbon provide more space for the boron atom. In fact, boron group to attach with it as compared to more substituted carbon. Less substituted carbon provide more space to the boron group. The second reason lies in the transition state. If we see that if the boron atom attached to that carbon which is less substituted, then the partial positive charge is on the secondary carbon. And if the boron group is attached to that carbon which is more substituted, then the partial positive charge is on the primary carbon. And you know better that partial positive charge on the secondary carbon is more stable as compared to the primary, because in secondary carbon this methyl group is present which is electron donating by nature, having positive I effect, means it donates the electron density to that carbon which makes it stable. But here no group is present to donate the electron density to that carbon which makes it less stable. That's why these two reasons make the boron group to attach to the less substituted carbon. Okay. The next alkyl borane, which is formed again this alkyl borane. Here this group, I replace this group with R, B, H2, and this group I return here as R. Now this alkyl borane again react with another alkene molecule. This is necessary to replace all the hydrogens of the borane. If you can also take dialkyl borane for the hydroboration. And if you take dialkyl borane, you will replace this hydrogen with alkyl group. If you take borane, then you will have to replace all these three hydrogen atoms with the alkyl group. So here alkyl borane is formed. Then again we will react with alkyl borane with another alkene molecule, and again same, this alkene act as a nucleophile and attack on the electrophile, and simultaneously this hydrogen will add to that carbon and dialkyl borane is formed. The reaction will not stop here. The dialkyl borane again react with another alkene molecule, and here again I replace this group with R group, BHR, BHR, and this group I also written as R, so here I will put 2. Okay. Now this is another alkene molecule. This dialkyl borane again react with this alkene molecule act as a nucleophile and attack on boron, and simultaneously this hydrogen will add into this, and we will get trialkyl borane. This hydrogen will add to that carbon, this boron will add to that carbon, Br2, and this is boron. You can see that here all the 3 hydrogens are replaced by alkyl group, 2 alkyl group and 3rd alkyl group. This will become Br3 and trialkyl borane. Borane due to the boron atom, and trialkyl because 2 and 3 alkyl group are attached here. Now the question arises here, why there is need to BH3 convert BH3 into Br3? Why this is not possible that this alkyl group alkyl borane further react and undergo the mechanism of oxidation and give us the product alcohol? Why there is a need to convert the borane into trialkyl borane first? So answer of this question is that here this acts as nucleophile. But if the hydrogen present here, suppose this alkyl group, I didn't replace this with any alkyl group, this will be hydrogen. Suppose we take dialkyl borane as it is. Then this group, instead of acting as a nucleophile, it will act as a base and take this proton. Why this will act as a base? Because if we compare the electrophilic nucleophilic substitution reaction with acid base reaction, then acid base reaction will preferably take place. You can say that if both the possibilities like here are present, that this species either act as a nucleophile or either act as a base, so it will preferably act as a base, because acid base reaction has less energy to proceed as compared to the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Then it will act as a base, it will take the proton, and we couldn't proceed the reaction in this way, and desired product is not obtained. That's why we will have to replace all the hydrogen atoms in the borane with the alkyl group. Now this will act as a nucleophile and attack on the boron atom. As the valency of the boron is 3, but here 4 bonds are formed, hence there will be a negative charge, and here 1,2 alkyl shift takes place. This alkyl group shift on this oxygen atom, and oxygen form 2 bonds, and when this shift here, this hydroxide group leave. Boron have R, and this will shift here oxygen, boron R group, and here oxygen, and this group will attach with the oxygen and OH group leave. Now this hydroxide group again attack on the boron atom, and again boron get negative charge because it forms here 4 bonds. R, SH, this group, alkoxy group, and now this hydroxide also attached with boron. Now this group, alkoxide group, leave as it is CH2, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 and oxygen. CH2, CH2, CH3 and oxygen with a negative charge. And remaining group Br2OH. And now this alkoxide take proton from water. This hydroxide and again leave, and we will get the desired product, that is 1 propanol and 1 propanol. So these all questions are covered, and this is all about the topic hydroboration oxidation, and the specifically hydroboration oxidation of alkene. Now we will see the hydroboration oxidation reaction for alkynes. As alkenes are categorized into symmetrical and unsymmetrical alkenes, alkynes are categorized into the internal and terminal alkyne. Internal alkyne, as here the triple bond, means alkyne functional group is present in not at the end but in between the molecule, so it is internal. But here, if the alkyne functional group is present at the end of the chain, means suppose this is the long chain and alkyne group is present at the end, at the terminal, so that alkane will be named as terminal alkyne. Alkyne will be named as terminal alkyne. In case of internal alkyne, the mechanism is just like the hydroboration oxidation of alkene, but product is different. And here in the first step again we add boron and tetrahydrofuran as a solvent. In the second step we add the aqueous solution of hydrogen peroxide and hydroxide, and we get the product first enol. Why we call it enol? Because here this carbon is doubly bounded, means contain the alkene functional group, so we name ene, and also the alcohol functional group, so we name ol. And we name such species in which the carbon atom is attached with alcohol and also with the double bound, doubly bounded with the other atom, we name it enol. And this enol is tautomerized into the keto form. We use this arrow to show the tautomerism. How it is tautomerized? Here carbon, this hydrogen from the oxygen is moved towards that carbon. This hydrogen from the oxygen is moved towards that carbon. Here carbon is attached with one hydrogen, this carbon. Suppose we assign number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Number 1 carbon, number 2, number 3 and number 4. Number 2 carbon is attached with OH group. So this H will move from that oxygen to the third number carbon. So 1 methyl group is present, 1 carbon as such. And 2 carbon contains a hydroxyl group. Here hydrogen move and we will put double bond here. And third carbon first contained hydrogen, 1 hydrogen, then this hydrogen again add to it and it will become H2. And 4 methyl group is present as such. This is the keto form of this enol. And in case of and you can see that in the case of internal alkyne, the product will be ketone. And in case of terminal alkyne, same as we add boron and THF and then add the aqueous solution of hydrogen peroxide and hydroxide, then again enol is formed. Because carbon contain the double bond and alcohol functional group, this will be enol, and this enol again tautomerized into the final product, which will be aldehyde in the case of terminal alkyne and ketone in the case of internal alkyne. Here again, if we assign numbering 1, 2, 3, number 1 carbon is attached with 1, 2, 3, one hydrogen and one hydroxyl group. One hydrogen is present as such here, and hydroxyl group is replaced here. Hydrogen move from that carbon to the number 2 carbon, and here doubly bonded oxygen, and that hydrogen move to that carbon. Here first one hydrogen is present, now 2 hydrogen is present, and methyl group is present as such. And mechanism is also same. Here I take this molecule. Okay, this borane act as electrophile, and again pi bond act as a nucleophile, and it attack on that borane atom simultaneously. This hydrogen attack on that, and first we obtain alkenyl. Alkenyl because here double bond is present. Alkenyl, due to this group, I will name it alkenyl and borane. Alkenyl borane. And in the next, again, I said that in the hydroboration oxidation, if we use borane, then there is a need to replace the all hydrogen atoms of the borane with the alkyl or alkenyl group in the case of alkyne, and alkyl group in the case of alkene. So again this alkenyl borane reacts with a borane. Here I again replace this alkenyl group with R. B, H, H2, H2, and this group is written as R. And again this react with another molecule of alkyne. Again it will act as electrophile, it will act as nucleophile, again simultaneously hydrogen atom, and here dialkenyl borane is formed because one alkenyl group is this, other is this. Again I replace this alkenyl group as it is difficult to write here, this bulky group, I replace it with R. 1 R and 2 R, Br2 and 1 hydrogen. And this will again react with another molecule of alkyne and form the trialkenyl borane, 2 R and 3rd R, trialkenyl borane. And now this is the hydroboration mechanism. Now if we see the mechanism of oxidation, then this trialkenyl borane again react with this species which act as a nucleophile. It will attack on the borane. Borane again get negative charge because its valence is 3, but here it forms 4 bond. So then again this alkenyl group shift. This is also called 1,2 alkenyl shift. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 alkenyl shift, and simultaneously this hydroxide leave as a leaving group. Now again boron, this R, and this group move to that oxygen and that alkenyl group, and hydroxide is leaving group, written as such here. Now again this hydroxide ion again attack on the boron, and boron again formed here for 4 bond, that's why it gets negative charge. Again this group leave as a leaving group, and we here have Br2OH, and this group is leave as such. Okay, and oxygen has negative charge because here the we know that one bond is formed from 2 electrons, and this arrow shows that oxygen is leaving by taking all the these 2 shared pair of electrons, by taking the shared pair of electrons, so it will get negative charge. And now this negative charge take proton from water, and this hydroxide and this leave as leaving group. Now here we put proton which it obtained from water. Now again this enol form as double bond and alcohol, both groups are present with the same carbon. This enol form is again tautomerized and converted into keto form, and we will get 1, 2, 3, 4 2-butanol as our desired product. And this starting material for this is 1, 2, 3, 4 2-butyne. From 2-butyne, we obtained 2-butanone by the hydroboration oxidation reaction. Similarly, the mechanism of this, and from propyne, we obtain propanol. So this is all about the hydroboration oxidation reaction of alkenes and alkynes. Hope so you understand it well. If you have any queries, you can ask and put in comment section. Thank you so much.